Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets, with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
I'm Nicola Coughlin, and for BBC Radio 4, this is history's youngest heroes. Rebellion, risk, and the radical power of youth.
She thought, right, I'll just do it. She thought about others rather than herself.
12 stories of extraordinary young people from across history.
There's a real sense of urgency in them, that resistance has to be mounted, it has to be mounted now.
Follow History's Youngest Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Malia Agudelo, a production assistant at Wonder Media Network, and I'm so excited to be guest hosting this episode of Womanica. This month, we're talking about cultivators, women who nurtured, cross-pollinated, experimented, or went to great lengths to better understand and protect the natural world. Today, we're talking about an environmental activist who dedicated her life to her community and protecting the land they depended on. She had a gift for cultivating coalitions to oppose powerful and violent interests. Let's talk about Berta Isabel Cáceres Flores. Berta was born in 1971 in western Honduras into the indigenous Lenca community. Her mother was a midwife, local politician, and activist. She took in refugees and supported leftist guerrilla groups from El Salvador during the 1970s and 80s, when political violence was sweeping across Central America. Her activism came at a price. Berta's mother was once kidnapped by an army colonel, and their home was monitored by Honduran intelligence services for more than 10 years. Even though her childhood had taught her the risks, Berta still became an activist herself. In 1993, she helped create the National Council of Popular and Indigenous Organizations of Honduras. The council worked to advocate for local indigenous communities, helping them attain land titles and resist territorial threats like illegal logging. Berta's community depends on the Gualcarque River, which originates in the nearby mountains. The river is also considered sacred as the birthplace of the female spirit in Lenca mythology. It's a source of food and water for Berta's community, providing fish crop irrigation and traditional medicinal plants. In 2006, neighboring community members came to Berta and the council for help. They had noticed construction equipment and other heavy machinery being brought into town, and they feared for the river and their livelihoods. What they didn't know was that a major dam project had been approved for construction on the Gualcarque River, without the community's required consent under international law. The dams would choke off the river, endangering the community's survival and violating the rights of the Lenca people. Berta and the council filed complaints with local and international authorities. Berta brought community members as representatives to the capital and organized a local assembly where community members could gather and formally vote against the project. Regardless, the Honduran company backing the dam project forged on, benefiting from ties to and support from national and local governments. They even falsified documents to make it seem like Berta's community had been made aware of the project and agreed to it before it began. Despite the company's efforts, Berta and the council fortified their strategy. They doubled down on their organizing and intensified their spiritual practice of visiting and thanking the river, which strengthened the solidarity of those fighting against the dam. Meanwhile, Berta was also involved in efforts on the national level to get a referendum on the ballot demanding a new constitution. But in 2009, just before the referendum was scheduled, Honduras experienced a military coup of the democratically elected president. They installed a right-wing replacement, and Honduras experienced an escalation in violence. The new government began approving more and more mining projects. This, in turn, created a massive demand for energy and an explosive growth of approved dam projects like the one affecting Berta's community. In 2013, Berta organized a peaceful road blockade to impede the dam company's access to the site. The Lenca community maintained the roadblock for over a year by barricading it with boulders and occupying the site. Friends and family took turns camping out at the blockade for weeks at a time, despite harassment, death threats, violent attacks, and eviction attempts from Honduran armed forces and militarized personnel hired by the dam company. This violence escalated until a member of their community, Tomás Garcia, was shot and killed during a peaceful protest. Later that year, the Honduran dam company lost its contract and funding, with international backers citing concerns over the escalating conflicts of the local community members. The dam project could not move forward. In 2015, Berta was awarded one of the highest honors in environmental activism, the Goldman Environmental Prize, as a recognition for successfully organizing against the construction of the dam. When Berta flew to California to accept the award, she said this: "The situation in Honduras is getting worse. When I am in Washington later this week to meet with U.S. government officials, the president of Honduras will be in the very next room, hoping to obtain more than $1 billion for a series of mega projects that will further threaten to put our natural resources into private hands through mines, dams, and large wind projects." At the time, violence in Honduras was escalating, and the country had just been named the most dangerous in the world for environmental and land activists. Even after the dam project was stopped, Berta continued to receive threats. Men in unmarked cars followed her. She received anonymous, menacing texts. Rumors circulated that she was on a hit list. In December of 2015, months after she accepted the Goldman Award, Berta texted her sister, "The messages never stop. The harassment never stops. They have me under surveillance." In February of 2016, Berta reignited the fight for the Gualcarque River when the dam company tried to simply move the dam project to a different location on its shore. Strange, ominous threats continued, with armed men showing up at the council offices looking for Berta when she wasn't there. She was scared, but she continued her work in the community, organizing workshops, participating in demonstrations, and talking to the press. In early March, Berta hosted an old friend and Mexican activist, Gustavo Castro, who came to teach a workshop on alternative energies for the council. Late one night, after a long day of working together in the community, Gustavo heard noises in the house. He heard Berta ask, "Who's there?" from her room, just before his door was kicked in. Armed intruders had entered the house. Within moments, they shot Berta, and as Gustavo rose, the man at his door shot at him too. The bullet grazed him, but was not fatal. Once the man left, he ran to his friend, bleeding out in the other room. Berta did not survive the attack. She was only 44 years old. Berta's murder, as well as the murder of another council member days later, sparked international outrage. In 2018, a Honduran court ruled that the dam company had ordered her assassination. Several men were found guilty of Berta's murder and sentenced to decades in prison. But the investigation into the plot against Berta is still ongoing. Her friends and family continue to push for justice, not only for Berta, but for all Indigenous peoples. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to co-creators Jenny and Liz Kaplan for letting me guest host. Talk to you tomorrow.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets, with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
I'm Nicola Coughlan, and for BBC Radio 4, this is history's youngest heroes. Rebellion, risk, and the radical power of youth.
She thought, right, I'll just do it. She thought about others rather than herself.
12 stories of extraordinary young people from across history.
There's a real sense of urgency in them, that resistance has to be mounted, it has to be mounted now.
Follow History's Youngest Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.